welcome to the 23rd episode of the Can Learn Library here at the North Battleford Library. We're in the kitchen again and we are going to bake today. We've been in everything pumpkin mode for a few weeks now, and I thought I would like to share with you a recipe for pumpkin snickerdoodle cookies. Now, I found this in Live Well, Bake Often on their website, and I just thought it would be really nice with the season. We're into fall, so these are the items that you will need to make pumpkin snickerdoodles. These are the items you're going to need to make your pumpkin snickerdoodles. We need 1.5 cups of flour, a teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cream of tartar. We need a little bit of salt. We also need 1/2 cup of unsalted butter that's been softened, and we need 1/2 cup of white sugar, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 egg yolk. We don't need the white. We need a teaspoon of vanilla, 1/4 cup of pumpkin puree, and in this little bowl I've got 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, which when we're ready to bake them, we roll them in this as a coating. Okay, so now we get to make them. So we're going to take a medium-sized bowl and we're going to add our flour, pumpkin pie spice, a little bit of cinnamon into here. So here we add all our dry ingredients. To me, it kind of reminded me of making muffins. So we're getting all our dry ingredients together. So baking soda, cream of tartar, and salt, and we're going to just make sure that that's well mixed and set it to the side, because now we're going to work with our wet ingredients. So I'm just going to mix this up and set it off to the side. Now typically you would mix the next ingredients in the large bowl with Mix Master or electric mixer, but guess who forgot the mixer at home? So do it the good old-fashioned way. We are going to cream together the butter. Now I cheated a little because I knew I forgot it. I kind of put this in the microwave a little bit just to soften it even more, because I don't know what my old-fashioned mixing skills are like, but we'll find out. Okay, so we're going to add that and the 2 sugars. Now it says should you have the Mix Master, for about 1 to 2 minutes until well combined. So we're going to try it here and see how well I can do it without too many lumps, I hope. Okay, so now I've put the oven to 350 because that's what we're going to be baking them at. This recipe says it makes about 18 cookies. It's not a big recipe, so it's kind of a nice one if you don't like them or it doesn't turn out for you. You haven't wasted too much. I'm always afraid to try the really big recipes for something, just in case, but one never knows. So just try to get this creamed as good as we can, because after after we're done creaming this, we're going to add the egg yolk and the vanilla extract, and then of course the pumpkin puree. So one nice thing, it's not too overly, the pumpkin isn't overpowering for you, so I think you should be okay. So we'll add our egg yolk. That should make the mixing go a little bit better because it's a little dry. So just eggs seem to bind everything, so just mix it up. And if it doesn't turn out for me, I'm going to blame the mix master. I forgot. So I baked a batch of it at home this morning before I came to work, and they turned out pretty good. So I'm hoping that this will too. So it's a teaspoon, which I don't have here, but I'll take a guesstimate. And the pumpkin puree. I chose a rum extract. I don't know, I kind of like the rum taste in a lot of baking, so just mix this all up because we're going to be adding the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. And then once we've got everything all mixed up, we are going to put our batter into the fridge for half an hour before we bake it. So I'm going to continue mixing, and I will see you back in about half an hour. So you just have to mix this when you put it in here, just to make sure everything's well mixed together, and then into the fridge. See you in a bit. As I said, this doesn't make a very big batch. So now you see how it looks before we start. It might be a little sticky, but I think that's what the cold was supposed to help with. So now I will just set this back down so that we can roll and get them ready to go into the oven. Now we're going to, I don't have a 2 tablespoon scoop, so what I used was a tablespoon, and I took about a tablespoon's worth, and I'm just going to roll it into a ball. And then we have here our sugar and cinnamon mix. So then we're just going to roll them here like this. There we go. All right, and so I'm going to just fill up my tray, and I've preheated my oven to 350, and it says to bake them for 10 to 13 minutes. I used parchment paper because I hate scrubbing pans, so I just thought, well, we'll use the parchment paper, and that will work. So I'm going to get this ready, and I'm going to bake, and then we'll show you the final product when we're all done. Okay. The first batch is out, and I've got the second batch in. I think I got about 25 cookies, which is a little bit more than what it had said that you would typically get. Well, I hope you try these cookies. I know Snickerdoodles are have always been a favorite of mine, and adding the pumpkin to them just made a little bit special. So that's all the time we have left for the Can Learn Library. And until next time, take care and stay safe.